welcome. I'm going to be doing a loose watercolour today. I'm having fun doing these. So without further ado, let's look down on my desk. So this is the idea. It probably won't come out exactly the same, but I've got a 7.5 by 7.5 inch square piece of watercolour paper, and this is, yeah, feels as though it's about 300 GSM. So and I've got a piece of acrylic here on my desk. So rather than using sticky tape to tape my paper down with, I have to decide, yeah, this is going to be the back. So I'm going to spray the back, get that nice and wet. I'm going to pop that down. I'm going to spray the front. This works really well when you're doing this kind of loose painting, and that basically now is, yeah, kind of stuck on the page there. So let us start with, I'm using my main palette, my Michael Harding paints, so I will yell out the colours that I'm using as I go. Let's just see if we can pop that. Yeah, we can just about pop that in there. So I'm going to start off with my neutral tint, and we will get some of that in, and we'll let that just go across there like that. The brush that I'm using is my Da Vinci Ethograph brush. You can find it in the description of my most used materials down below. Right, next I think I'm going to use some, get a bit of Perylene green going on. So we'll move that down a bit. And you know, this is lots of water. Lots of water, some of which I might mop up in a minute. I could do with a lighter green, so I'm gonna get this bright green lake next, and just brighten up the bottom. And I am just going to tilt it a bit, so it's, although it is sticking to my acrylic, let's get my tissue and then I can mop up. Yeah, I just want it to move about a bit is what I want. So yeah, and I think that's doing that quite nicely. Let's just get you back down in position. Okay, now I'm going to use the end of my brush. You can use any little tool that you've got that is going to you know, just make some, get some mark making going on here. I think I might even take some of that up and out of these bushes because I can. Okay, right, let's add in there some yellow ochre, maybe yellow ochre. Let's go for yellow ochre. I think is going to look nice and just brighten everything up. And then before I do anything else, I don't want that to spread too far, to be fair. Just might mop. Just might mop a little bit of that up. Plus that's also given another nice effect. So next I want that to dry. Okay, so I have dried that, but what I am going to do is just spritz back again so that I can get that to lie flat-ish again. There we go. Right, so where do we want to go from here? I think we probably need to get some... Ooh, I wonder whether to use my art graph and then loosen it up a bit. Yeah. So need my other glasses on. Oh, I'm always doing that. Where I paused and went to make myself a coffee before I dried this off. I obviously swapped my glasses back over again from my instead of just my reading glasses, I put my distance glasses back on. I want to smush that in a bit more. There we go. Maybe have a bit more of an edge going on. Yes, I'm liking that better. Right. Now let's get this petals brush out. And we'll use our Perylene green. And I think we will get some more grasses going up here. I'm purposefully leaving this corner because that's where I'm going to put my stencil to do my spider's web. So let's add a bit more of our brighter green in here. And this is loose. As you can see, it's very loose. And I think I want some... Let's get that a bit more. Let's get some black splats. And some yellow ochre. Because that that really helps to pop, doesn't it? And we can't do a painting without some bleed proof white. This one is, where am I? Look, I'm scraping the barrel on this one, but it's fine because I've got a new one at the ready. So next we get some of these white ones in. That one's splodged rather too much. That's fine. Let's find another clean part. We can sort that out. And then, where is my stencil? I buried that. Okay, we'll pause to find the stencil. Here we go, it dropped on the floor. Okay, so let me get how I want my little spider's web to be. So we'll pop that there. And I'm going to use some of this. Well, actually, I think I've got some mixed up. Have I got some? I've got some mixed up. Let's just shake you a bit. There we go. Looks like molten gold. It's absolutely glorious. Right, let's get some of you in there. And pop you back over there. Clean my brush off. And let's get some bleed proof white as well. Okay, fingers crossed. Oh, there we go. It's like a burst of light, isn't it? Rather lovely. Let's just pop you over there. So now I've got this kind of burst of light going on here. I want to get a bit more of the bleed proof white up here. And yeah, I just feel like it needs bleed proof white. But I'm also going to use my brush and do some little lines, some thick ones, some thin ones, because I think it needs it. And while I've got the gold out, I told you this one would come out. Oh no, not you. Where's my other one gone? Here you are. While I've got the gold out, I think I'm even going to add just a few marks. So I'm making some squiggles, really. And as you can see, this is not the same as the one that I did earlier, because it's impossible to do them exactly the same. And I think actually I quite want to, where's my brush gone? Here you are. Darken up the middle of the spider's web here. Yeah. And where did my tissue go? There you are. And so that doesn't run too far. And so I can maybe just tone it down a little bit. I'll just use my tissue in there. I just felt like it needed a bit of a centre, really. But let's move these out of the way again, so that there is more room for you to see what I've done. Definitely not the same as last time, but you have a play, see what happens, you know, when you do it. If you haven't got a spider's web stencil, you could use some other kind of stencil in the corner there. You know, whatever takes your fancy, really. But a really simple idea, I think, that turns out really quite nicely. So there we are. That is my loose painting for today. And I hope that you have a go, and I hope that you all stay well, and see you again next time.